Now, WYFF News 4 presents For the Record.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record on this Easter Sunday. For Christians, this is a day to celebrate Jesus' resurrection. Today, we'll share the stories of two families who've experienced a miracle in their lives. We'll speak with the Taylor family, whose son Zach made an incredible recovery after suffering a heat stroke at football practice. And we'll also talk about miracles with Pastor Stephen Ward. But joining me first this morning is Tim Wadsworth. Tim, thanks you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
Tell me your story.
Yeah, so I was 18 years old, left Greenville, driving to Lynchburg, Virginia, where I went to school at Liberty University. And I left at about 3 in the morning, thinking that was a really good idea to get a quick head start to get back to school. But about 20 minutes outside of Lynchburg, I fell asleep at the wheel. And the next thing I know, I woke up and my truck just started to roll. And I just remember that moment very in a deep way that I thought my life was going to end.
So you are in the driver's seat. You are feeling the roll.
Yeah.
You just woke up. You probably had no clue really what was going on, or
No.
did you?
Well, I knew that I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. And while the truck was rolling, I just thought, God, you're going to have to put your protective angels around me if I'm going to live. And God was super kind to let the steering wheel pin really tightly against my legs to where the truck did not throw me out.
So you're in the truck. You don't have your seatbelt on. It is flipping.
Yeah.
And the steering wheel pinned you down so that you didn't come out.
In the moment, I didn't know that.
Right.
I just thought it was kind of the gravity or the force of the truck spinning. But I didn't, my body, as you can see in the pictures, it was just so turned in a weird way where I thought, how in the world did I stay in this truck? But once EMS came on the scene and they got the jaws of life and everything, they just said that I was very fortunate, that I was in this really rare category of not wearing my seatbelt actually kind of helped me a little bit because the left side of the truck got crushed so hard. And so if you're listening to this, wear your seatbelt.
Yeah.
It is just the slim minority that I kind of fell into. But God was kind and spared my life. And the only thing I can really think of is his protective angels were around me and God wasn't done with me. And I'm really grateful for that.
And we have photographs of your accident
Yeah.
right after it happened.
Isn't that weird?
Interesting story. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so truck rolls, I went flying off the road, and the first person on the scene was this random guy who just started taking pictures. I would speak to him, he wouldn't speak back to me. He just said, help is on the way. And once EMS got there, it kind of got a little crazier. But on top of rolling my truck, the police also gave me a really nice ticket of reckless driving. Big fine, points on my license. So I had to go to court. And after court, I'm walking out and I see that gentleman who was taking my picture. So I walk over there and I'm like, hey, were you the guy taking my picture? And he said, yeah, I work for the state of Virginia, their insurance, and I'm not allowed to talk to the victims. And I was like, hey, I don't really care, but can I get copies of the pictures? And he was kind enough to mail them to me. And it's kind of weird, but I have those pictures framed in my office at North Hills Church because it's just a daily reminder that God gave me a second chance. And I don't take that for granted.
You also use those pictures on social media.
Yeah.
On the anniversary. Why?
Yeah, I think it's good to remember. I mean, me personally, as a follower of Jesus, I'm talking to the Lord all the time, asking him for things because he gives good gifts. And we always are really good at asking, but sometimes we forget to look back and see all the answered prayers and the kindness of God over time. And so it's just my reminder for myself and for the people that see the picture to pause and to thank the Lord. And I think it's good to look back. So I try and do that every March, to look back, and it makes me grateful for my wife and my children and the youth group that I lead and all of my friends here in the upstate and around the world. God is really kind.
Have you ever wondered why you were spared?
Yeah. I would say the why is God wasn't done with me, but the biggest why is to tell as many people about Jesus as I can. So I oversee a live student ministry at North Hills Church, and our mission statement is to help people find and follow Jesus. So my why isn't so that Tim could have a comfortable life or just to keep going. The why is God spared my life because it was bigger than me. So obviously my faith in Jesus drives everything I do. And so my biggest why is I'm hoping, why? Tell as many people about Jesus as I can.
And you had that faith before.
Yeah.
Did this miracle make it even stronger?
Yeah. So thankfully, I've been following Jesus for as long as I can remember. I remember being 4 years old and singing like old school Rich Mullins, "Our God is an awesome God," and truly believing that. But it wasn't until right around my teenage years, and especially when this wreck happened, where I wasn't really any more of lip service or just doing it because it was my parents' faith. Like it was kind of one of those awakenings that God had in my spirit. And when you get a second chance, right, it changes your perspective on everything. Yeah. And so because of the kindness of God, it really just turned my eyes to really focus on what matters and to forget what doesn't matter.
Tim, thank you very much for
Absolutely.
sharing your story. So to come, we'll speak with the Taylor family about how they're giving back after their son had an incredible recovery following a near-death experience.